highly in his favor. He becomes on match point going into Terraform for Game 5. Not a place that ByuL wants to be, especially considering his mecha performances versus Innovation, where he looked a bit shaky. He finally won it there in the end, but it was not a convincing win. It was a I barely got through that kind of win.
That's right.
All right, guys, the map, Cactus Valley, is loaded. Let's go into TY versus ByuL, game number 4.
경제, 승기, 스피드, 인내.
Down here to the bottom right in red, up a game 2-1 in this series. It is a player known formerly as Baby, is now TY.
I get why they flicked to each player at the start, because they're doing their cheers. Figured it out, Wolf.
Exactly.
Up here in the top right, we do have that Zerg player, ByuL, now down a game. 2 more losses and he's out. Looked pretty frustrated after that game. It was a game that shouldn't have gone that way. I think if it would have been a lot different if he had known where that army was. He would have tried to collapse on it with Ling Bane from all sides instead of trying to go for a pretty ineffective counterattack.
Let's have a team kill in the finals.
No, let's not.
We've had that many times before.
I feel like that's an anti-hype. I don't want that. I mean,
that's most likely referring to ByuL and Hero, right?
I guess that would be. Clearly a CJ fan.
Yeah, it would be cool. Honestly, I feel like any combination of the finals would be cool, but I think the least cool one would be the team kill. Although like it would still be cool.
It'd be cool, but it's like, well, you know, they're on the same team, so they're like brothers anyway. It's not like the animosity is there compared to a KT versus SKT or CJ versus one of those guys as well.
What's your favorite finals, actually, looking at the 4 players we have left? TY Rain is mine. I'm like 100% the coolest finals.
TY Rain. Well, you know I'm like a pretty horribly biased Zerg player, but
I mean, like if we have ByuL Hero, that'd be cool too. ByuL Rain would be the rematch of the GSL finals, so that's another thing to keep in mind.
I want to see TY Hero.
TY Hero?
TY Hero.
Okay.
That'd be actually a lot of fun, I think. We saw Rain play, I think, last night in GSL, and he got knocked out. So he was not looking as strong as last season.
ByuL Rain rematch would be like super sick for those GSL fans that, you know, follow that pretty closely and would like to see ByuL have a second chance at that finals. And we'll see.
I mean, either way, like, everyone wins, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a mirror match, and it's all great players.
By the way, the Star League producer did tweet yesterday, it's on a somewhat related note, that the finals venue will be announced tonight. So
excellent.
Look forward to that. Probably going to be announced at the end of the broadcast.
I'm keen. What do you think it's going to be, Will?
I think it's probably going to be where we had the Pro League finals. That's my guess.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I actually don't know. I mean, it's going to be. I'm going to find out at the same time as everybody else.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All
well,
right.
This is the safest opening we've seen from TY yet. The Reaper to protect his CC because he's been dealing with these early pools, these early harassments every game, and funny as it is, just misses those links.
Yeah, just misses the links. I guess in the end of all things, it's not going to be that anyway, so Reaper's kind of a waste, but it's going to get the scout off he needs. On
he actually could get this delayed.
He's going to force him off. But Reactor Marines do the trick.
He wants it so badly, he can't have it. Get out of here, Ling. Well, it's just, you know, more standard sort of opening here for TY. Funny map to do it on, you know. Of the first 2 maps are one of the smaller maps in the pool. He goes for CC first greedily, and this game is the one he plays safe.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a mind game thing as well, right? It's like, well, I know he's going to try a hard counter me now. Or it's like, maybe I'm just not comfortable and I want to mix things up. With much more room to work with, TY could probably just do whatever he wants this game. He's got a couple of games to burn before he has to freak out.
Absolutely.
Link speed about to finish up, but no Link's on the way, so it's not really investing in anything here. Just going to have those ready in case. Medivac, as well as Hellions on the way, so maybe a Medivac drop, or maybe a Hellbat timing.
Scouts this lair. This Reaper's actually been pretty effective. And look at this, already finding a window here for harassment.
That's it.
I don't think he'll get much done here.
Maybe
only one, two.
Maybe two. Oh,
nice little extractor there.
All right.
He's probably going to keep it, too, with the Larry's got coming up.
Yeah, well, here we go. We don't see an armory going down, just Hellions and a Medivac on the way.
I think it's just going to be the 4 Hellion drop. Well, 3 Hellions now because he lost the 1.
2 more about to come out, though, and he's actually got 2 more after that queued up.
Look at the angle here to dodge
Wow.
vision. I mean, this guy is really good at this. He is going to fly into this one, unfortunately, but he's like already at the doorstep at this point.
Yeah, I guess he's going to look for a run by at the same time with 4 more Hellions. We'll see. I mean, Lings are waiting now.
Okay. Queen's coming up into the main as well, going to make this a lot tougher. I do not think he'll find any damage here.
No, I know he's going to get 1 shot off.
Okay, 2. Some of those Hellions already, or well, actually one of them was in the red earlier, so it's like...
Oh, 2 more into the natural.
Queen's away, but Lings are here to stay.
Wow.
6 kills in total, though, surprisingly.
All right, that's not too bad. It gets a good big scout off as well. He knows it's that 2-base meter opening again for ByuL. ByuL never changing things up.
Yeah, well, this is actually pretty common right now. I feel like one of the only players to not do this every game versus Mech is like Rogue, but he still does it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad choice, considering how greedy most Terrans are being, and especially TY. I mean, you could really get away with a lot if he's going to be going this kind of builds every game. Granted, this game, he did go for that Reaper.
Sure. One of the games that really comes to mind about the 2-base Mutalist style that we've seen is ByuL versus Maru in the round 2 finals of Pro League, where he actually beat Maru with that.
Yeah, that was like showing Maru's inexperience with mech as well, I think. Like, he never goes mech. But, yeah, it certainly adds a lot of pressure. It kind of pigeonholes a lot of the Terran build orders and styles. Like, you have to get any air early before you go for anything else.
Yeah, it's like you got to get those Thors up early, which is what we're going to see here right now. 2 Thors immediately coming out. Wait, is that Armory just not being started? That's his first Armory? He could be in some serious trouble here, actually. He's not going to have Thors in time. He was definitely going to have to get an eBay up.
Well, he's got an eBay, so I think it's just going to be like multiple turrets plus Vikings.
Okay.
He should be able to hold on with that.
That was concerning me for a minute. That Hellion drop, we weren't talking about it, but it did very minimal damage, if any at all. But he's just constantly forcing these Lings to be made, and he's harassing them. He's trying to keep ByuL's attention back at home. He's not like being super inefficient with these drops, but he's definitely not finding big damage. Let's see, 3 Hellions to 1 shot. 2 kills, gets away.
It's not too bad. Muta's going to shut it down for the rest there.
And that means that the Mutas are away, and that gives him time to start his turrets. First turret on the way, Thor on the way as well.
No turret at the natural, which could be a problem if ByuL was to find it, but it's going to have to go pretty deep for that.
There's also just 1 turret at the 3rd base, but it's not well placed, so you could find some damage there as well, especially with these Lings.
There's 1 under the command center as well.
Oh, okay, I see it, yeah.
But it's going to get targeted down, it looks like. Ooh.
This is a good place to engage, though.
It's good
wipe
for the
that
Mutas.
turret. Yeah, wipe the turret, and then just zone out these units. He's going to kill a siege tank for free. Might actually get the 2nd tank. I think he can actually just micro back against the turret. That's exactly what he does. He's going to kill his tank, even with a repair, and then just back away. Absolutely a great trait. 1 meter for a tank.
12 roaches on the way, so he's going to go for that roach timing behind this. Resetting that tank count gives him such a window of an attack and possibly a kill.
Oh man, the scan is so smart. He knows how he makes 1 tank and 1 Thor at the same time, because he's trying to basically figure out exactly how the best way to handle the situation is. And I feel like ByuL is in a great position. He just needs to make sure he doesn't overextend what he's doing. If he can find some damage with this, it gives him so much more flexibility going into a 4th base and in the mid game.
Yeah, I think he can almost kill at this point. I mean, 2 tanks are going to come out. He's going to delay this 3rd base and really open the game and give him such a lead in terms of bases. He could trade with the army as well. I mean, it's like 6 Hellbats and 2 Thors right now. And a couple more units are coming out, but still.
Really good micro here by TY with this Viking and the turret. But yeah, those Thors are out of position. Tank's out of the position. He sees it now. He's got a bit of a depot wall here. A 2nd wave of roaches is coming to follow this up, so he doesn't want to get sandwiched here.
Oh, Muta's on the tanks while this is all happening as well.
Thors do try to come and protect, but he is going to get 1 tank, and I think it's worth it, actually, because here come those 2nd wave of roaches. And Hellbats fighting against roaches, not a good place to be. This is looking like a win here for ByuL.
He's certainly got the momentum. He's got to try and close it out before more tanks get out there. Opening the door there. He needs to get those roaches from behind to come and help chunk down those doors.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do here. With the siege tank support, definitely has a little bit of a better shot here, but that Viking certainly isn't doing him any favors. And this is just too much damage. The third base isn't mining.
Man.
Look at all those SCVs.
Good focus fire in the center of those roaches with those tanks, stopping the SCVs from getting splashed.
Burrow movement actually about to finish, and keep that in mind. So he's going to have a little bit more to work with, especially because that wall is no longer tight at the natural.
Yeah, he can also heal up, which is the big thing as well. A lot of those roaches are damaged. But the more roaches he makes, it's going to give him the chance to just overwhelm. That's 5 tanks out there. So he's going to probably have to just transition to a 4th and go in the later game.
Can start switching back into mutas. Those the creep spread for ByuL really working in his favor here to reinforce these attacks. Oh man, he's got so many burrowed roaches here, setting a trap.
Yeah. See if the scan goes down eventually.
Oh, this is just such a bad place to be right now for TY. Even with all these tanks, he cannot hold a third. This third base is going to have to turn it around. It's like,
I like this. Sorry, I was going to say the overload drops on the way now. Something if you like thought about a little bit earlier, you might have just won the game from that, because it's pure tanks right now that are being made.
Yeah. Something else is, once he identifies that it's pure tank being made, he can switch into mutas. Look at his bank. He's got so much bank here. He could actually do a little bit of both. He could actually mutas and drop the roaches.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options here. Looks like he might have canceled the overload drop.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh.
But Hellion drop attempt here at the same time. With this turret finishing up, it's going to give him a little bit more safety. If TY can bounce back from this game. Oh, look at this, trying to use the splash damage.
I like that.
If TY could bounce back from this game, it would be incredible. ByuL already now has a 5th base on the way. He's transitioning into Hive, Hydras. He's going to have +2 for his Roaches and Hydras, +2 for his Mutas.
Yeah, I guess you just got to remember that, you know, while he does have such a supply lead, it is Roaches, and they do get pretty redundant after a while. And if TY is allowed to sit on 3 base and eventually get a 4th and make that scary mech army while upgrading them, he could be fine in the late game as well. Oh, Muta's just seconds too late as well for that turret.
Yeah, losing 1. Gonna try to find another angle, maybe into the main base. Viking really helping the zone. So many turrets here. TY does not skimp on turrets. It's just one of those things that, like any good mech and Terran player will tell you, innovation as well. Like, just don't skimp on them. You have mules until Legacy, so use them.
Yeah, especially against mutas like this. Mutas can come out in pretty heavy numbers when they're facing mech.
He's just finding all the right angles. Gets a cancel on one of those CCs. Probably could get the second one on his way out here.
Oh, 3 Thors there. He's got to be careful not to sit too long.
So many Vikings as well from all different angles, but the Thors get blocked on the ramp. Still a lot of damage done. And he's still not killing that CC, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that kind of bothers me. He cancels it anyway. He didn't have to, but he did.
That was weird overall, but I'm glad that you mentioned that the max for the Roach army isn't as scary, because if you look at just the supplies, you're like, oh, this game's over. But
oh, look at this. Roach is now making their way into the natural.
Will he realize there's no turret here?
Oh, I don't know if he should have unburied there. He took so many hits. Only 3 left. That was a blunder.
That was pretty not good.
That was greedy for a tank. I mean, he could have got an STV line, or at least made them pull for a long time.
Well, he's looking probably to switch into more mutas here, right? He's just opening up supply.
I think he might be opening for a lot of Vipers from this situation. I think that'd be the next step from here.
Especially considering the extra Evo chamber he's adding right now. Yeah, I think you're right. 3 Vipers on the way.
Let's see how many he invests into. I see a lot of Korean Zergs. Well, hold that thought. Big attack happening.
Oh, man. Some of these tanks on siege. There's a lot of Hydras actually coming in from the north. This is going to be a really good trade to these tanks to the north side. But he doesn't want to get too deep, because that's where the rest of the depots are protecting the other tanks. And it started out to be a good trade, but definitely didn't finish that way.
No. I guess he's got a lot of room to remax. He's still waiting for those 3 Vipers to come out. I'm kind of surprised and a little bit disappointed it's only 3 there. But it is this sort of the trend we're seeing from Korean Zerg players. They don't want to invest too hard into Vipers. I think we've only seen that once. I think it was Rogue.
I'm pretty sure he went like 8 Vipers or something.
Yeah, it does a lot of work.
Well, one of the other weaknesses of ByuL's play right now, and I'm just being super critical because he's so ahead, but he could actually have that second creep spread going through the middle of the map a lot faster, because if he had that kind of surrounding, he'd have so much more flexibility with his Hydras and Roaches, especially the Roaches, to come across the map. With Hydra speed, obviously they're the same speed off and on creep, but he could definitely do a lot more pincer-type tactics with his ground army that he's trying to do here, but he's off creep.
Yeah, it's going to mean a lot easier of a late game when you want to go into Ultralists as well, right? Like, it's something that ByuL has always done in the past when he gets to that late game. So creep threat is kind of essential against this kind of style.
I like these, hold that thought. We're actually going to see an engagement here. A very good spot for these Vikings and turrets.
Oh, man.
A decent blinding cloud, but he doesn't have a follow-up blinding cloud, and the rest of the tanks from behind.
There's a lot of tanks spread out. Yeah, it's not going to do too much at all. It's not the best of trades.
And the blinding cloud's going to fade away, and he lost a lot of expensive Vipers for this. Now, TY is taking a hidden base to the 9 o'clock expansions, killing a lot of drones to the top left at the same time, off camera.
Well, here we go again. He's going to trade out more tanks with the remaining Hydra. He's not getting that last one either. I mean, he's still so far ahead in supply, but he's not finding a way to kill him.
Where's the Ultralisk Cavern? You know, where is the extra Viper play?
Why are these 3 Hellions still denying gas income from this base? That's like such an important thing as well.
His creep isn't connected. He's not sending any units over there. He doesn't have any mutas, so like, as I send a Roach across, this Roach is checking for other hidden bases, but he's not finding the correct one currently.
Yeah, hopefully he keeps an eye
Oh
out
man,
there.
this is if those tanks siege up, this is going to be a terrible engagement. He probably just wanted to grab a tank or two, then back off. Well, such a late siege though. He's actually going to get so much done. He's fighting in tank mode.
Well, I mean, there's still a lot of sieged up tanks regardless, like 4 of them at the back there and 2 of them behind the mineral line. He's never going to really find a kill, but I guess if he keeps trading them out, his huge economic lead.
The Viper rally is so bad, he's going to kill an almost full energy Viper.
Yeah.
I feel like his idea here is just, I'm going to eventually make him run out of money by trading inefficiently repeatedly because I have a better economy. It's starting to work out here.
Yeah, he's whittling him down. Exactly what I was going to say. And it should be overwhelming the third base from here. And from here, I don't think there's really much else TY can do.
Yeah, landing Vikings now to try to help buffer for these tanks. That base to the 9 o'clock is just not enough. It's too late. Doesn't have its gases fully mining yet. Only got 1 up. He survives again, and again the max into Hydras and Roaches, but this time with better upgrades. +3 just now finishing. And he only has 1 Viper, but I almost feel like he doesn't need Vipers anymore at this point. Like, just 1 Blinding Cloud should be pretty good.
Yeah, the income for gas has just been so bad throughout this. He's finally droning up that extra base to the top left there. I guess like 3 more Vipers would really help out in trying to close this out because it's still a lot of sieged up tanks. You got like 9 of them there right now.
Yeah, constantly trying to grab this one. 96 hit points left on it.
Oh, Lings are going to find this base finally. Does he pay attention though?
Did he see it?
He saw it with those Lings. He's not going to really bother with it though. He's just going to try and kill.
Oh man, this engagement on the left side drawing a lot of the siege tank fire away, which means less splash damage. This is just too good of a trade. Even without finding that base there, without attacking it, I think this is just going to be game. He loses almost every last siege tank. 4 more on the way, but he can't even protect his orbital anymore. The Hydra's the range here, starting to chunk it down. And 6 tanks left on the map with 1 Viking. Viper did go down in that engagement, but these Lings come over here. He's like, oh, that's how you've been alive. Here's your lifeline.
Yeah, there we go. It's going to really even things up.
He scans the reinforcements. I think he's going to type out GG. 2-2. Tied it up.
Yeah, ByuL looking good that game. Keeping the control, keeping that momentum with Roach Hydra. I'm liking it a lot. Much better than what he was doing before.
Absolutely. It was a very solid game. It was very heavy-handed the way he approached it. He was just trying to crash into those tanks enough times with his better economy. I mean, the way he looked at it, he's like, I'm on 5 bases and you're on basically 2, so I guess I could just eventually kill you. TY was hoping that he was going to take enough bad fights so he would eventually come back with that 3rd base, but he got scouted. And you know, the move he did with the Roach on the left side drew a lot of the siege tank fire away for that, attacking him on the right side, and then that's where he needed those tanks to be focus firing. Well, with the scores tied up 2-2, I believe we're going into Terraform for Game 5, but it's going to be after a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
Drive the cloud away. We will fall from last to none.